Welcome back to Grief Inspired. My name is Catherine McNulty, and today's video is a little bit different than most of my videos because today I'm going to put you to work and we're going to work on some things. So I want to encourage you to grab yourself something to drink. I have some coffee here, maybe some chai would be good, some other hot tea. If you happen to be somewhere in the world where it's cooler, getting cooler now, or if you're somewhere where it happens to be warm, because I know viewers are all over the world here, go get yourself something icy cold. But then come back and grab yourself a piece of paper, a pencil, or if you happen to have it, your grief journal, because this is what we're going to use today. So this grief journal, if you don't know about it, I recently made it available on Amazon. You can just search Catherine McNulty to find it. And it's called Finding Hope, Love, and Grace in Grief. And it's to help you, give you something to work through on a day-to-day basis. And first of all, if you're here, I want you to have hope. That's the most important thing that you need to heal from grief, is you have to have hope that you can get through it, hope that you can be happy again. Love is the second thing in here, is that you are not grieving because you didn't love. You grieve because you do love. And so all grief originates because of love. And so this book is designed to help you focus more on the love side of things, focus on what you had versus what you've lost. And then finally, grace. Grace means that that's not easy, and going through the grief process and really digging in and healing from grief requires work. And so because of that, it requires grace. Grace for yourself, grace for the amount of time that it takes, so much grace. And there's so much about grief that is really not something that you can control. And so there are times when you need to just let go and lean on grace, lean on whatever your higher power is, and be okay with what is. So today we're going to work through one of the pages to give you a sense of what the book is. Let's see. We're just going to scroll through here. Here's a good one. So every day you go in, so if you have your piece of paper, date the piece of paper so you remember what date this is. And you can come back to it if you decide to get your own grief journal. But the first thing that we do is observe what is. So I want to encourage you to take a moment and check in with how you feel. How do you feel today as it relates to your grief? And in the book, there's many listed. So what's surfacing? What emotion is surfacing for you today? Is it shock and numbness? Maybe because you're early in grief. Is it denial because you're trying to avoid? Is it that you just feel lonely? What about anger, fear, anxiety, exhaustion, depression, guilt, confusion, betrayal? Or maybe today is a little bit of a lighter day and you're feeling relieved or hopeful, maybe even joyful and inspired. So depending on what's happening in your life, on your grief journey, depending on the day, depending on the things that have happened, that's going to vary from day to day. So I want you to just take a second and check in with yourself and say, how are you feeling today? Now, the second thing is the book has writing prompts. So every day there's a writing prompt to encourage you to think about writing. So the one I just happened to open to today is, my grief is teaching me. So you want to complete that sentence. Use as many words or as few words as you want. And think for just a second, what is your grief teaching you? What have you learned from your grief? Have you learned that things have changed? Have you learned that you're stronger than you thought that you were? Have you learned that you are valuing things differently? Have you learned that you need to give yourself grace? Have you learned that there is hope? So take a moment and start writing for yourself. What is your grief teaching you today? And so I want to give you a little bit of time because I really want you to do this work, to see what the book is like, to really dive in. There's a difference between thinking about things on a very high level on the surface, but it takes it to a whole nother level when you actually put it on paper and when you take time to think about it and you write it down. So I want you to do that today. Now, if you can. And what it says underneath where you're writing, it says, imagine your pain leaving your heart and landing on the page with every word that you write. So the more you learn about your grief, the more you write about your grief, the more you speak about your grief, the more you're processing your grief. It is literally, I want you to imagine the pain leaving your heart and landing on the page. Let your grief out. Grief needs a place to go. So the next section is about gratitude, because one of the things that I have learned is that there is so much loss in grief, and we tend to focus on all the things that we don't have, that we won't have them with us. We won't be able to hug them. We won't be able to talk to them again. We won't be able to see our children grow up. We won't be able to go on the next vacation with our spouse. We won't be able to spend a holiday with our loved ones. It's easy to find all the things that we're missing. It's more difficult, but necessary, to find the things that we can be grateful for. And the thing I love about gratitude is that gratitude is what you already have. So it's the direct opposite of loss. It's what do I already have? And so it says, today I choose to find gratitude for what I have rather than what I've lost. I am grateful for. And it's only 3 things that you need to come up with. What are 3 things that you can be grateful for today? I'm grateful for all of you guys being here. I'm grateful that I know more about my grief, because after I lost my son, my first son, it makes the moments that I have with my current son that much more special. I am grateful for the sunshine and the way that feels on my face. If I do this in the morning, I'm always grateful for my coffee. I'm grateful for the people that I still have here. I'm grateful for the support that I'm getting. I'm grateful that today I woke up and I'm still alive, because there's a lot of people who didn't. So it can be as simple as the fact that you're still here, or it could be something more in depth. But being in that space of gratitude a little bit every day, picking out just those 3 things, will literally change the way your brain functions and the way you feel on a day-to-day basis. I promise you that. So once you have those 3, and again, these are your choosing to find gratitude. Sometimes you have to look a little harder to find it. And I get that. I get that. And then the last section in the book is, what do I need today? So my question for you is, what do you need today? Do you need to spend time by yourself, maybe contemplating, maybe working on this? Maybe you need to journal more today because you found that this was helpful. Maybe you need to go out and be with people because you haven't been out of your house in a week or 2 weeks or longer. What do you need? Maybe you need to help someone else today because there's this wonderful, wonderful thing that happens because when you are thinking about helping someone else, you're taking your emphasis off of your own problems. And sometimes that can be a gift. What about needing to do something creative? Anything creative can be really therapeutic while you're healing. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's sculpture, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's just decorating something or rearranging something in your house, trying to put order to some things. What's the creativity that you could do today? Maybe it's just getting out of the house and going for a walk. Maybe it's getting some exercise. Maybe it's saying, you know what, I've been pushing myself because I've been out and about and I've been making myself do things. And so maybe I need a Netflix day. You know, I call that throwing yourself a pajama party. Maybe you need to give yourself a day to sit in your pajamas and eat the junk and sob and cry and watch sappy movies, although I don't really recommend it because that just makes you feel worse. But sitting on the couch and watching Netflix, maybe you need a comedy to lift you up. Google anything with Melissa McCarthy. That woman is a crack up. So anyways, so that was the 4 sections: your emotions, a writing prompt to get you writing, gratitude, and then what do you need? And that's an exercise that can take 10 minutes at most. But if you do it on a regular basis, you certainly can. And in the book, there are some quotations. And the quotation that I just turned to is this: grief is like an ocean. It comes in on waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water is calm and sometimes it is overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim. So this journal is my attempt to help you learn how to swim. One of the ways. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope it gives you more of a glimpse into what this is, what it's all about. I want to encourage you to go to Amazon and get your copy and get started. And just get started. And you don't have to do it every day. It's okay if you do it a couple of times a week. But the more that you do it, the more it will help. And like I learned recently, these are the kind of things, just do it more than you don't. Just focus on yourself more than you don't. And do the best you can more than you don't. Have a great day now.